Yo, what's good, kinfolk? Peace, love, and light to you all. Check this out. Last week, I was listening to my song, Real Illuminati. And as I was listening to it, I kept asking myself, why did I write this song? So later that night, I was meditating, and all I was thinking about was 1 Thessalonians 5:5, which says here, you are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of the darkness. Right? So I was meditating on that. And normally through meditation, that's when the Most High be revealing things to me. But I remember a couple of days after, I was meditating and just thinking about that. I started reading this book that I have called The God Design, right here. As I'm reading this book, right, I get to chapter 5. And chapter 5 deals with, melatonin, serotonin, DMT. And for those of you who don't know what DMT means, it means dimethyltryptamine, right? And for those of you who don't know what dimethyltryptamine is, it's basically a self-produced psychedelic in the human organism. But anyway, so I'm in this chapter and I get to this page and I see these words, luciferin binding protein. Let me repeat that. Luciferin binding protein, LBP, right? I'm going to read it, but this right here is what led me to do all this research and gather all this information so I can put this video together. Okay. This is going to be a very interesting video. I'm about to bring forth some things that I don't know if you ever heard before. It's a lot of interesting things, but we are the children of light, literally. Okay. I'm going to reveal to you in this video that we as melanated people emit light. We have light inside of us, actual light, like for real light inside of us, and we emit light, small traces of it though. You know what I'm saying? And it's a reason for that, which I'm gonna get into later on in the video. But yeah, we really are children of light. And I don't even think a lot of us even know this. You understand? It's scientifically proven and it's biblically proven. Biblically? That's how you say biblically? Scripturally proven. Oh yeah, and if you're familiar with the term Lucifer, you're going to be surprised at what I'm about to show you. Okay? Because I want you to know, I'm going to tell you straight up right now, everything you thought about Lucifer may be wrong. Okay. Lucifer wasn't the original term. It's actually translated from another word, which I'm going to reveal in the video. But you're going to find that the word that it's translated from also applies to Yasha. But just hold tight. I'm going to get into all that. Listen, I'm not trying to convince you. It's not my job to force anything on you. All I'm doing is just presenting information. This is not like a teaching or anything like that. I'm a student first and foremost. So as a student, you know what I'm saying, dealing with information, I feel it's my duty to just present or share this information that I have, or, what was revealed to me, to you all, in hopes that we can build, man, and just, just try to figure this stuff out, But anyways, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. All right. So I got the book here, The God Design. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put what I'm reading on the screen. I couldn't find a PDF, so I took a picture of the paragraphs and I'm going to just put it on the screen so you can read along with me. All right. I'm going to need for y'all to pay attention. It says luciferin binding protein. Luciferins are light emitting compounds that generate what is known as bioluminescence, right? We're looking at the etymology of the word bioluminescence. Bio means life, okay? And we can just simply click on bio and you see here that it means life, okay? Luminescence, and this is going to be a word that you need to remember throughout this whole video. Luminescence, okay? But it means light, okay? Light or brightness. And then another word that we see here is luciferins, okay? So let me continue reading. It says they are a class of small molecule substrates that are oxidized in the presence of a luciferase, which is an enzyme, okay, to produce light energy. At the molecular level, bioluminescence is produced when chemicals or substrates intermingle at the right time and place. Luciferin, luciferase, and a third player, oxygen. Okay. And now it goes on to say an incredible parallel pair of L's that can be highlighted here is between the luciferin binding protein, LBP, and Lucifer, the demon, devil, or fallen angel. When oxidized by the enzyme luciferase, LBP becomes a light producing substance known as bioluminescent. Okay, the same substance that gives fireflies their magical glow. But in this video, I'm going to show you that it's not only fireflies that can light up. Okay, humans, melanated people can light up as well. I'm going to show you, but let's continue. It says Lucifer is commonly known as the rebellious archangel identified with Satan, and less commonly, but more realistically, Venus, the morning star. Belief that Lucifer was the proper name for Satan began with its use in the Bible to translate the Greek word, which is the original word, Phosphorus. Okay, let's look this word up. All right, so here's the etymology of the word phosphorus or phosphorus. Now understand that phos means light. Okay, we're going to find this same thing in the Bible concordance or lexicon. All right, phos or phos means light, right? So phosphorus, if you split the word up, phos meaning light, Horus or Horus. Okay, Horus, you know, that was the Egyptian deity or whatever. But when you think about the Eye of Horus or whatever, when you look at the symbol, okay, I know a lot of people think that the symbol is evil, but I'm going to tell you what the symbol symbolizes. It symbolizes the optic thalamus inside of your brain, okay, because it's the thalamus that produces light. Okay, it's the thalamus that produces light inside of your brain. Okay, this is why the thalamus was always known the light of the world. But let's continue. So phosphorus, substance or organism that shines of itself. Okay, from Latin phosphorus, light bringing, also the morning star. All right, now you're going to see that this same word right here, okay, which they got the word Lucifer from, okay, not only Lucifer, but the word Venus, okay, they got both of those terms from this word. All right, so as we can see, morning star, literally torch bearer, from phos, like I told y'all, meaning light. So let me continue reading this. It says, however, it is a mistake to identify Lucifer and Satan as being the same. Okay, in my last video, we went into the etymology of the word Satan and devil, you know what I'm saying, to show you what those words truly mean and how they were used in scripture. But anyway, it says the true translation of Phosphorus, which we just read, is a number of substances that exhibit luminescence when struck by light of certain wavelengths, and Venus was named after it. So after meditating, going from that to reading this, coming across that, I'm just like, wow, like, I wonder if the Most High is trying to show me something. So what I did, I was like, you know what? This is interesting to me and I want to do some research on it. And I did. And this is what I found. So again, 1 Thessalonians 5:5. You are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Okay, so in my song, Real Illuminati, right, I said that we are the real illuminated ones. Okay, we have the true light within us. These people or beings or whatever species they are that's ruling this world, they don't have any light within them. Therefore, you see the reality that they've created. Okay, this world is dark right now. Is it not? So in the song, I was saying that it's our job as the children of light to bring light back to this world. Okay. And I believe, according to the research that I've done, that we actually have literal like light inside of us. You understand? It's just that through the GMO foods, the fluoridated water, the vaccinations, the chemtrails, so on and so forth, all of these things were created and are used as weapons, okay, to keep us down, to keep us from being the divine beings that we are. Y'all have to understand that when we talk about God, God is in our DNA. Okay. Y'all would be surprised at all of the things that we could do naturally. Okay. Listen, we really are a special people, and they know this. That's why they have been attacking the body for so many years. But see, I thank the Most High for just putting the spirit on me to do all of this research, because with me doing all this research, I'm actually finding the keys. You feel me? Finding the keys, and I'm sharing the keys with y'all. We gonna figure this out straight up. Let's go into the science. So remember the word Luciferin, right? It says Luciferin from the Latin Lucifer, light bringer. And we know that that's not the original word. It's really Phosphorus. It is a generic term for the light emitting compound found in organisms that generate bioluminescence. Okay. And I'm going to show y'all that that's not only with fireflies and like fishes in the sea and different plants. That's also in humans. All right. I'm going to prove that going through the scriptures and all these other records too. It says luciferins typically undergo an enzyme catalyst oxidation, and the resulting excited state intermediate emits light upon decaying to its ground state. Okay. It says an organic substance. This is something that's within all of us. Okay. Present in luminescent light. Okay. Light organisms such as fireflies that produce light when oxidized by the action of the enzyme luciferase. And here we have bioluminescence. Okay. I showed you the etymology, but this says the biochemical emission of light by living organisms such as fireflies and deep sea fishes. You see here it has luciferin listed under bioluminescence, because if you click on this, it'll take you here, right? And then you see here. So basically, in a general sense, the principal chemical reaction in bioluminescence involves some light emitting molecule and an enzyme generally called the luciferin and the luciferase, respectively. Because these are generic names, the luciferins and luciferases are often distinguished by including the species group firefly luciferin. All right, but you see what they doing? They leaving out humans, but I think they did that on purpose. So here we are at factslegend.org. 15 interesting human bioluminescence facts, right? The human body emits extremely low intensity lights that are not visible to the naked eyes. And that is because of the state that the world is in. Okay, now, when you think about the movie Avatar, right? You know, with the blue people. If any of you have ever watched that movie and you see that their world, everything was illuminated, all the flowers, all of the animals, you know what I'm saying? They had bioluminescence. They were glowing, emitting light. And I guarantee you, I bet you that's how the world was before they started messing it up. I bet you. I'm going to read this. It says, seriously, we are not kidding. Humans glow just like fireflies or sea fireflies. So next time someone says to you, hey, you are glowing, take it pretty darn seriously. While bioluminescence is nothing new in nature, glowing humans is a type of shock to our ears. But it is very much true. Let us today learn 15 interesting human bioluminescence facts. The human body actually emits visible light. The amount of light emitted is extremely small in quantity, but there's a reason for that. The levels of the light emitted by a human body fluctuates throughout the day. The light emitted by the human body has very low intensity. It has 1,000 times less intensity compared to the light that is visible to naked eyes. This is the reason why the light emitted by a human body is not visible. It is not that humans emit light. Scientists say that light is emitted by every living creature in this world, and that the light emitted by majority of them is so weak that it is not visible to human eyes. Human body emits light because of the chemical reactions that take place inside the body and involve free radicals. Okay, so what I just showed you about luciferin or bioluminescence, basically the luciferin binding protein, that is something that's actually inside of all of us. Okay. 6, since the light emitted by the human body is not visible, some may actually confuse it with infrared light. This is not true. Infrared radiation is actually an invisible form of light, while the light emitted by human body is visible. It is just that the intensity is extremely low to be visible to the eyes. Human bioluminescence was confirmed by a group of Japanese scientists. They used cameras which were extraordinarily sensitive and were capable of detecting photons. In the experiments conducted by the scientists, it was found that human bioluminescence is lowest at 10 a.m. and highest at 4 p.m. And you can also see this in fireflies because it's around that time when the sun is setting that you always see fireflies light up. Number 9, in the experiments conducted, 5 healthy young men who were in their 20s were tested for a period of 3 days. These men were placed bare-chested in a completely dark, light, tight room for 20 minutes every 3 hours from morning 10 a.m. to evening 10 p.m. And here's a little graph or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And see what you're seeing is the yellow, the green, yellow, and red. That's actually light. You know, all right. So it says, based on the results of the experiments, the scientists conclude that bioluminescence in humans is directly connected to body clock and fluctuations and metabolic rhythms resulted in the fluctuations of bioluminescence. It says the experiments revealed an interesting fact. It was found that faces showed more bioluminescence compared to the rest of the body. I want you to remember that now, okay? I want you to remember that, because when I go into scripture, and you probably already know who I'm talking about, his face shined. It was some other people too. I'm going to show you. Okay. The scientists concluded that the body is less exposed to sunlight compared to face and the pigment melanin. Caucasian people and Asian people, they have melanin as well, but their melanin is not like our melanin. Okay. They have sulfur-based melanin. We have selenium, which is rich. You know what I'm saying? So believe it or not, we are different than everybody else in this world. We can actually go out into the sun and eat the sun. Let me not say eat the sun. Let me just say soak up the sun, right? The sun nourishes us. It preserves us. But for the majority of them, they don't do too well in the sun. It says here, okay, the face and the pigment melanin produced underneath the skin is stimulated by sunlight. Okay. Now we know that melanated people, by sitting in the sun, let's say an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, our melanin, the sun starts to stimulate our skin, which is a good thing. Okay. But it says this melanin contains fluorescent components. Thus, more melanin in face means more bioluminescence. So the darker you are, okay, the darker you are, the more light you emit. All right. Scientists say that human bioluminescence is directly connected to metabolism. The faint light emitted by human body can actually be used for spotting medical conditions. One may argue that what is considered to be bioluminescence is actually thermal signature of the body. This, however, is ruled out by the scientists. They found that areas of the body with brightest thermal image did not produce brightest light. Human bioluminescence has no evolutionary role to play, unlike in case of deep sea fish, glowworms, ostracods, and fireflies, etc. That's 15 interesting human bioluminescence facts. Now, here's something I found just by, doing a little research online. I was looking up some stuff, and check this out. It says the mystery of electricity is unfolding gradually before our eyes, and the electrical nature of man is being slowly proven, and will later demonstrate that throughout the human structure and form, man is composed primarily of light atoms, and that the light in the head, okay, so when it says the light in the head, remember what I was saying about the so-called eye of Horus, right? That symbol symbolizes the thalamus. Okay, it's showing different parts inside of the brain: the thalamus, the pineal, the pituitary, the medulla oblongata, so on and so forth. When you really break that image or that symbol down, that's what it symbolizes. Okay, and I actually have a book here that talks about, hold on, and they call the eye of Horus the all-seeing eye or whatever. Because let's see, page 75. Okay, the upper section of this pineal body is the optic or eye, the all-seeing eye. It is the wonderful light of the candle, which gives light to the whole house. Now, I know a lot of you all may not be familiar with this type of information, but like I said, I'm going to help y'all understand, because I've been studying it. We shouldn't be ignorant of anything. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so the central eye. So just so y'all don't think I'm lying, right? The central eye. It says the optic thalamus, the central eye in the center of the head, is called both lamp and lamb. The thalamus, which is the chamber, is a mass of gray matter at the base of the cerebrum, projecting into and bounding the third ventricle. right? It says here, it says, thus we see how it also means rays or light, etc. Hence lamp. But anyways, I can do a whole nother video on that. I think I'm gonna bring a lot of this information out in the video that I do on the mystery of the Christ within us. It says, and that the light in the head is no fiction or figment of wishful thinking or of a hallucinated imagination. All right. Because remember what I was saying in the book that I was reading, that was breaking down DMT. DMT is what actually gives you that spiritual experience. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I can go into that too, but it says, but it's definitely brought about by the junction or fusion of the light inherent in substance itself in the light of the soul. Okay, it would be found that this would be capable of scientific proof. It will also be shown that the soul itself is light, in that the entire hierarchy is a great center of light, causing the symbology of light to govern our thinking, our approach to God, and enabling us to understand somewhat the meaning of the words of Christ, I am the light of the world. Now we're going to go into some of these records to show and prove that, that it's recorded that, humans were light and are light beings. Check this out. This is the first book of Adam and Eve, right? Oh, this is chapter 34, verse 16. It says, and of your good will, O Lord, you made us both with bodies of a bright nature. Okay. Now this bright nature is referring to the aura. I don't know if you all are familiar with aura or what aura is, but if think about this, you ever seen the cartoon Dragon Ball Z? And when they become Super Saiyan, that field of energy surrounding them, that's what this is talking about. Like that aura, that energy, that light. And you made us one, and you gave us your grace and filled us with praises of the Holy Spirit, that we should be neither hungry nor thirsty, nor know what sorrow is, nor yet faintness of heart, neither suffering, fasting, nor weariness. That's why your diet is so important when it comes to this subject. You know what I'm saying? Because whether you know it or not, by being on a plant-based diet, an alkaline electric diet, that puts light back into your body, but in small amounts. Okay, in order for us to survive in these bodies that we have now. So all of the stuff that I put out in regards to our diets, it's a reason for that. It's a reason for that. Flesh is death. It's dead. It's not doing nothing for your body. Flesh doesn't have light. I mean, it's common sense. Think about it. When the last time you heard flesh healing anything in the human body? Let me know. I'll wait. So I'm going to read my notes here. Shout out to my bro King Kambamba for, helping me out with this research. You know what I'm saying? What I'm about to read, he sent me. It says, religion has removed the scientific proofs and logic from the scriptures and have used blind faith so people can't break down these mysteries or secrets that are actually possible. And they took this stuff and have put it in anime cartoons and are making billions to trillions of dollars and making people think it's make believe when it's actual truth. And I already read a little bit of this, but he added to it. He said, the scientists concluded that the body is less exposed to sunlight compared to face, and the pigment, melanin, produced underneath the skin is stimulated by sunlight. This melanin contains fluorescent components. Thus, the more melanin in the face means more bioluminescence. Okay, he went on to say solar powered cells. In the movie Man of Steel, Superman asked his biological father why he's different from humans. As Jor-El explains, Earth's sun is younger and brighter than Krypton's was. Your cells have drunk in its radiation, strengthening your muscles, your skin, your senses. Okay, and this is what it does for melanated people. That's why, throughout ancient times, other nations always refer to us as the children of the sun. Okay, I don't know if y'all knew that or not, but yeah. It says the fact Superman is powered by solar radiation, light, is also shown in Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. In one scene, he regenerates after bathing in the sun's rays, paying homage to the comic that inspired the film, The Dark Knight Returns, when he tells Mother Earth, the sun's power fuels us both. Okay? And then he said colored pigments, right here referring to Superman. He said on Superman's home planet of Krypton, the best pigment color for absorbing solar radiation would be black or brown. But now let's go deeper into it, because I want to show you Enoch was able to emit light, right? Jasher chapter 3, and I'm going to go down to verse, 20. And he did in this manner for many years, and he afterward concealed himself for 6 days, and appeared to his people one day in 7, and after that once in a month, and then once in a year, until all the kings, princes, and sons of men sought for him, and desired again to see the face of Enoch, and to hear his word. But they could not, as all the sons of men were greatly afraid of Enoch, and they feared to approach him on account of the godlike awe that was seated upon his countenance or his appearance. Therefore, no man could look at him, fearing he might be punished and die. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to look up the word godlike. All right, check this out. Godlike, resembling or of the nature of a god, divine. Here on my paper, they don't have what's listed on here on the computer. So basically, it has here resembling God, or a god in qualities such as power, beauty, or benevolence. All right. And then it says for synonyms, divine, godly, angelic, transcendent, superhuman, more spiritual, heavenly, celestial, sacred, holy, deific, right? So these are all the things that Enoch was, and that's why he was a king to the sons of men. All right. But you know who else did the same thing? Let's go to Exodus chapter 34. We're going to read from verse 29 all the way down to 35. So I'm going to show you the King James version, and I'm going to also show you the NIV version. I'm not going to read the NIV version, but I'm just going to read the King James version. But I just want to get a word out of the NIV. Okay. So verse 29, it says, and it came to pass when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tables of testimony in Moses' hand, when he came down from the mount, that Moses was not, that the skin of his face shone while he talked with him. And when Aaron and all the children of Israel saw Moses, behold, the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come near him. And Moses called unto them, and Aaron and all the rulers of the congregation returned unto him. And Moses talked with them. And afterward all the children of Israel came near, and he gave them in commandment all that the Lord had spoken with him in Mount Sinai. Until Moses had done speaking with them, he put a veil on his face. His face was shining that much, he had to put a veil on his face, right? But when Moses went in before the Most High to speak with him, he took off the veil until he came out. And he came out and spake unto the children of Israel that which he was commanded. And the children of Israel saw the face of Moses, that the skin of Moses' face, and Moses put the veil upon his face again until he went in to speak with him. So what we're going to do, we're going to look up the definition of the word shun. right? So here in the concordance 3313, Yafa, which means to shine out or forth, to send out beams, right? Calls to shine. Okay. Now, I said I was going to go into the NIV, and basically I'm going into the NIV to show that instead of shun, it says radiant, right? So without having to read all of this again, I just want to get this word radiant. So if you look at the etymology of the word radiant, check this. It says beaming, shining, right? To beam, to shine, of beauty, etc. Right? So what I want to focus on now is the word beam, because we also see the word beam in shine where it says send out beams, right? So we look at the etymology of the word beam. It says emit rays of light, meaning that Moses, his body was emitting light. Bioluminescence. It says in the ray of light, sense of shine radiantly. All right, smile radiantly. Now I'm going to show you who else was able to do this. And you should already know who I'm about to pull. So I'm in the Aquarian Gospel. I could have stayed in the King James, but like I said, I love this record because it's just clear and precise. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, this is the Aquarian Gospel, chapter 129, verse 11 through 14. Check this. This is when Yasha took the disciples up into the mountain. It says, then Yasha, taking Peter, James, and John, went forth unto a mountain top to pray and meditate. And as he prayed, a brilliant light appeared, right? His form became as radiant. We just looked at the etymology of the word radiant, didn't we? As a precious stone. So it's saying that his form, his body, his appearance, his countenance was emitting light. 13, his face shone like Moses, like the sun. His garments seemed as white as snow. The Son of Man became the Son of God. He was transfigured that the men of earth might see the possibilities of man. We're going to get more on Yasha though later. Now what we're going to do, we almost finished, but I'm going to tackle this word Lucifer yet again. Now, I already know many of you, when you think about Lucifer, this is what you think about. This is what comes to mind, right? That's what comes into your mind when you think about Lucifer, don't it? I know. And you think about all the people in the entertainment industry and, the governments and how they worship Lucifer and all that, right? Okay. And then, we always talk about the Illuminati. Like I said in the beginning, these people do not have the true light within them. I mean, it's evident. Look at the world. You feel me? They are destroying the world. Since they've been here, they brought nothing but chaos, destruction. They perverted everything. They distorted everything. You understand me? So I'm going to just tackle this word Lucifer. I'm not even going to say that it's not a real thing or whatever, because I know some of y'all just, y'all want to hold on to these fictitious characters and stuff. But like I said in my last video, they're just personifications of things. You know what I'm saying? So we're looking at the etymology of the word Lucifer, right? It says Satan, also morning star, Venus in the morning sky before sunrise. Also an epithet or name of Diana. So basically Lucifer just means morning star or light bringer, right? Now let's go into the scriptures because I'm finna show you something. So in different verses, because if you read the King James Bible, it's going to say, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning. Okay. But if you read other translations, let's just say the NIV or the whatever this is, matter of fact, let's just stick with the English Standard Version because I'm gonna show you something. All right. Crazy. I'm just seeing this. So it says, how are you fallen from heaven, O day star, right? Son of dawn. How are you cut down to the ground, you who laid the nations low, right? Watch this. I'm gonna go back and forth from this in this scripture right here. Okay. So this is Isaiah 14:12. Check this out. Let's go to, this is the argument a lot of people be having, right? Because they'll say, well, it says Lucifer is the morning star, but it also says that Christ is the morning star. So are they the same? You know what I'm saying? This, like, people really be out there arguing about this and stuff. But I just want to show you what I found. All right. So we're going to go to that scripture. Let's go to Revelations 22:16. Right. So it says, let me highlight it. It says, I, Jesus, or Yasha, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, and the bright and morning star. This is talking about the glory of Christ, right? 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 19. We have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto you do well that you take heed, as unto a light, phos or phos, that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts. Isaiah 14:12. How are you fallen from heaven, O day star, son of dawn? All right, so basically what I want to show is this. Let's look these words up. Okay. So when, let's see if I got it here. All right. So this is the Greek word for day star. All right. The one that we read in Isaiah 14:12 and 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 19. The word here is phosphorus. Okay. Look now, light bringing, giving light. The planet Venus, the morning star, day star, metaphor Christ. You did? Light bearing, phosphorus. Okay. I didn't make this up. All I did was I just did my research, you know, and I'm not trying to make nothing out of it. It's just, this is what happens when you be searching and stuff, man. Like, be coming across all this. So here in the concordance 54:57, this is phos, okay, meaning light, a source of light, radiance. So if we go back to the etymology of phosphorus, substance or organism that shines of itself, light bringing, the morning star. This is the true original word, not Lucifer. You did? So here's more on phosphorus. Whether you know it or not, this is inside of you. There's a chemical compound that is hidden within each of our own DNA called phosphorus. Phosphorus is essential for life, and the phosphate is a component of DNA, RNA, ATP, and also the phospholipids that form all cell membranes. Simply put, without phosphorus, we humans would simply not be human, because consciousness and our spiritual energy would not exist. Okay, I showed you this in the beginning when I read the little thread on light. It is through our DNA, which contains phosphorus, that we become conscious to the world and who we are in order to live in the light. Hence, Lucifer is really just an allegory to describe phosphorus, which resides in our DNA. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for now. If I happen to come across any more information or whatever, I'll be sure to bring that out, you know, to add to what I already have now. And like I said, man, I just hope y'all found this interesting. I found it interesting. Look, this is what I want y'all to know. This is only the beginning. Trust me, I have a lot of information that I need to share with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I can get really, 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 really deep into this stuff. But what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to keep it simple. Just like the video I put out a couple of days ago. A lot of what I said went over people's heads. You know what I'm saying? I can tell by the comments. Some people were saying, so are you trying to justify sin? No, you wasn't paying attention. Some people took it the wrong way, you know, when I said that Yasha had a Satan within himself, right? And see, I'm seeing that people don't know etymology. People don't know the true meaning of these words. And that's why they are getting tripped up, or they get tensed up whenever they hear, you know, like what I said, you know, with him having a Satan within himself. Okay, so I'm gonna show y'all some before I end the video. Let me go to my Facebook real quick to show y'all some, so I can clarify or bring forth understanding on what I was saying. Okay, because some of y'all took it the wrong way. Here's what I said. So in the video I recently put out, I said everyone on this earth has a Satan, which means adversary, which means enemy or opponent within themselves. Even Yasha had a Satan within himself that he fought against. I said, I guess some people were upset by that and think I'm misleading people now. Well, let me clarify. Does the Bible not say that Yasha was tempted in every way? Not some ways, but in every way, like we are tempted? Let's see. And I mentioned this scripture in the video. I guess that went over their heads too. Hebrews chapter 4, verse 15. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to empathize with our weaknesses, infirmities, but we have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, yet he did not sin. And I said, interesting. Comment. You experience temptation when a thought comes to your mind, do you not? And you are aware that to act according to that impulse would be wrong. You come to a moment of decision. Will I choose to sin here, or will I resist this Satan tempting thought and choose to overcome sin? A temptation is always conscious. You are aware that to give in to this thought, Satan, adversary, enemy, would be to sin, to do what you know to be wrong. And it's important to remember that you can't be tempted without the thought first coming into your mind, right? That is the temptation, not sin you have committed. Yasha could have sinned if he wanted to, but he chose not to. He resisted Satan, that tempting thought, right? That enemy, that darkness within each and every one of us. All right. Every time Satan, that tempting thought came into his mind. So what took place in Matthew 4 was not meant to be taken literal. For an example, Satan taking him up to an exceeding high mountain and all of that. We must interpret these things psychologically. That's why I love the account in the Aquarian Gospel, because it makes more sense. And it does. Jesus or Yasha goes to the wilderness for self-examination. Now, in, you know, the esoteric understanding of wilderness also means meditation. Okay. But anyway, where he remains 40 days and he is subjected to 3 temptations, he overcomes. Okay. And I'm not going to read all this, but basically what I did was I just put in, you know, like right here when he said, my lower self, his flesh is strong. Then I put Matthew chapter 26, verse 41. Okay. And then one of the brothers had put Galatians 5:17, where it says, for the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that you cannot do the things that you would. You did. So, yeah, you know, and it was like, by many ties I am bound down to carnal life, right? Have I the strength to overcome and give my life a willing sacrifice for men. It says, and then the tempter came, and I put in parentheses, Satan, enemy, thought. You know what I'm saying? Adversary. All right. And then down here, but Yasha said, away from me all tempting thoughts. My heart is fixed. I spurn, which means reject or resist this carnal self, fleshly desires or passions, with all its vain ambition. Right? For 40 days did Yasha wrestle, fight with his lower self, flesh. His higher self, spirit, prevailed. Right? So I said the whole point of him coming in the flesh was to show us how to defeat, overcome, destroy the Satan, which means adversary, which means enemy within all of us. It's that simple. That's what I was trying to say. You know what I'm saying? What was the whole point of him coming in the flesh? Why the flesh? What's wrong with the flesh? I said all this in the video, but it went over y'all heads. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. But then I said, my question to you is, every time you've gone through temptation, did you physically see the Satan that we read about tempting you? Or did you experience it taking place in your head? Just like that. But anyway, man, peace, love, and light. I love y'all. And as always, continue to fight the good fight. You feel me? Continue to strive for perfection. Continue to, work on yourself to become a better you. Continue to just basically just follow in the footsteps of Yasha, man.